Just getting underway again. It's a beautiful morning, promising day. The locks are behind me. There's a lovely spot to stop for the night. I don't think there's anyone coming through the locks presently. Not this one anyway. There was a boat moored ahead of me last night that went through the locks about half an hour ago. So where will I finish up today? Bit of a mystery, isn't it? You'll soon find out when I stop cruising. Hi, and thanks for joining me. Using my Nicholson's Waterways Guide number 3, I'm going to explain the extent of today's episode. In the last episode, I had moored just beyond bottom lock 11 of the Atherstone flight. In this episode, I continue along the Coventry Canal, past the remains of an old swing bridge. I go through Polesworth, then under the M42 motorway. I carry on and I stop at Alvecote Priory. We take a look around that. I then set underway again. I make one more stop, which you'll see about. I carry on into Tamworth and I eventually stop at the top lock of the Glascote flight. There's just 2 locks there, and I pass through the first lock, and that is the end of today's episode. I've just had another malfunction with the GoPro 7. It happened yesterday. I didn't mention it then, but it's most annoying. It starts recording and stops. So that's 2 cameras I have that are sort of faulty. The DJI Osmo Pocket that starts recording and stops, and the little GoPro. It is so frustrating. When you can't film or you think you've lost your film, I can't explain what that feels like. There's a very dinky boat coming up now, very dinky indeed. How cute was that? This area I've just passed through is known as Bradley Green. There are more services just here, that's good to know. Just about to pass a workboat called Faisley. There's a well-known name, in boating circles anyway. Oops, haven't done that very well. There's a towpath on both sides here. I hadn't expected that. Well, not a towpath, but the ground is jutting out, look, down here. The towpath is on the other side, of course, this side. It's lovely and open through here, but no train, I'm afraid. There have been a few, but I've missed them. A very old boat we're passing. It's a steel boat. You imagine that one day it may be restored. You think about its history. This is Grendon Dock. Morning. Morning. Is that the first boat of the day? I can't remember. Morning. You're making your way down to Braunston.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. All the best. Bye. I asked them if they were making their way down to Braunston for the historic boat rally next weekend. I didn't actually get an answer, but they seem to recognise me. It's nice when you meet people that know you or you know them. It's really comforting, something special about it. We're coming up to the remains of a swing bridge. It's very narrow, sloped right down. That is tight, very tight. You can see the remains here on the left. I don't know if you'll get a good idea from here how narrow it is. That's very tight indeed. Very unusual to see swans. Oh, they're not swans, are they? What are they? Just on the outskirts of Polesworth at the moment. This looks like fairly new development. Lost my chimney cowl. I haven't lost it, it's there. It's a bit of a nuisance. I think it will straighten up though. Fortunately it wasn't screwed on, it was just resting in the top. There's a boat coming down towards me. And another spider on the camera. Whoops. Morning. There's a low bridge back there. It's the lowest I've ever done. I've knocked my cowl off.
Oh no!
Yeah, that one up there. You'll be alright, you're more central. There's another boat coming down towards me now. I don't like it when it's this narrow. At least it's not windy. Hello. Tight through there. really expected that. Mind you, I've not been through here before, so I don't know what to expect. I don't think I've told you that I lost a windlass. I actually left it on the lock when I came through the last lock yesterday. I'm concentrating so much on climbing down onto the boat using the lock ladder. I've got the rope in my hand, possibly the camera as well. Sometimes it's in my pocket. And I tend to take the windlass off the top as the last thing as I sort of go down. And I completely forgot about it. I went back to have a look today, and needless to say, it had gone. No surprise. I'm doing some repair works to the armco here. And the working boats are just up ahead. Quite a lengthy repair actually. Coming out of Polesworth now. Some waterside bungalows. Looks a very nice place to moor along here. There were mooring rings further back. Don't seem to be anywhere I am now, but there was a good run of mooring rings. Unusual that, isn't it? We're just coming up to the M42 motorway now. Here's the other end of the arm. Quiet for a moment on the motorway. There's a nice wooded area to my right and some very good mooring along here. I'm going to moor up for a while and you'll soon see why. I asked for some special security for the boat, and here it comes now. I'm at Alvecote Priory. As you can see, it's a bit of a ruin now. There's not much of it left. It was a Benedictine Priory. I honestly don't know too much about it, so I'll have to do some research and let you know. A colony of Benedictine monks dedicated to St Blaise was founded at Alvecote in 1159 by William Burdett. It was small and poor, with a net income about 1535 of £28 per annum. It was usual for 4 monks to be located at the colony, but in spite of its small size, it was dissolved in 1536 and the buildings converted into a private house, which was rebuilt in 1700. The house was demolished in the 20th century. The surviving building remains date from the 14th century and are believed to be the undercroft of a domestic building forming part of a priory. This is interesting. I wonder what year that's meant to be. That one says 19 something. Partial excavations in 1956 uncovered further medieval remains. This is Alvecote Marina ahead. Just go and have a quick look at it. It's been very busy today with planes and trains. I'll be passing that by in a moment. I hope you enjoyed that brief interlude and a look at Alvecote Priory. I'll soon be underway again. Hello. This looks like the abutment of an old railway bridge. The bridge carried a railway siding which went into a former brickworks. I'll be stopping again shortly. I'll leave you to guess what that might be for. I'm passing another very good winding hole here. Lovely properties along here, very idyllic. I have passed so many lovely gardens. Some of them have had their own boats moored. It looks interesting what I'm coming up to. Just mooring up again. You'll see why in a minute. Look at this, right by the boat. Have you guessed it yet? Yes, I'm going shopping. It's been over a week now. I need some extra supplies. Chocolate, ice cream, that sort of thing. Pork pie. I've still got a lot of supplies on the boat, but there are certain things that I do need to get. Looks interesting. Oh, gin. Lovely. Well, done the shopping. That's good. As I stopped to get supplies, I thought it would be a good idea to stop and have some lunch, which is something I don't normally do. I just carry on cruising till I've finished, then I have a cup of tea and something to eat. But as I've stopped, it's the second stop I've made today, it just makes sense to have lunch. So I didn't quite get all I wanted in Tesco. One of their freezers had packed up and there was no milk. That's not really a problem. Before I set out, I bought some Cravendale milk, which has a longer life. I'm not sure it's really the same as the milk I normally buy, the semi-skinned, but it will do the job, so I'm pleased that I brought that with me. I've got probably less than 3 miles to go before I moor up today. I've got to pass through 2 locks, the Glascote Locks, and that's it really. So I've got another, well, certainly an hour and a half, probably 2 hours for me, I should think. Because I don't cruise that fast, probably 2.5 miles an hour, if that. I really don't know what speed I cruise at, but I would certainly expect up to 2 hours travelling. That was a nice stop for me, very pleasant. I did well, I think, to find a Tesco's literally yards away from the canal. Although it wasn't visible from the canal, it was just behind the houses here on my left. And a very short walk indeed. Some things come together, don't they? Shame about the milk, but it's not the end of the world. So many lovely gardens along here. People have made a lot of effort. These gardens backing onto the canal through here just go on forever and ever. Some of them are quite something. Very special indeed. People have gone to a lot of trouble. Hello. Trees. A bit tight through there. Willow trees. That was a bit tight just now. The weeping willows spoilt the view. Then the other side of this bridge there is a pub, which I hadn't appreciated. Thank you. I need to learn what all these hand signals mean. All the best. Touching the weeping willow now. Fortunately they're very gentle. Can't actually see through them though. Here we go. I'm going to duck down for a moment. Nothing coming. How lovely was that? The locks are just beyond this bridge that's coming up. A little bit of a distance to travel, but I can see them now. There's some sort of arm up here. There's a bridge and an opening, as there would be in a bridge. It's right on the fold of my map book, so I can't quite make it out. There is a boat behind me as well. That could be good actually, might shut the gates for me. Or there could be a boat waiting to come up. It's a boatyard. Or a small marina. Can I get ready to jump off? Going into the first of 2 locks. I don't think there's anyone coming up, is there? No. Thanks very much. Another boater has very kindly gone ahead to start filling the next lock down, which is very good of him, very good indeed. Just leaving the lock now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, that's great, thank you. I'm going to finish this episode here. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll carry on in the next episode when I pass through the second lock at Glascote. Meanwhile, look after yourselves, your friends and families. Take the utmost care. Until next time, bye for now.